welcome in to be our guest, and I think this is probably a bit of a hint of what's to come. You know that Jack and I are extremely patriotic and so proud to be Americans. And we have as our guest today someone that we are just delighted to have, and that's the new commander at Maxwell Air Force Base, General Kwast, Lieutenant General Stephen Kwast, to be exact.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about some things today that our audience needs to be aware of, is interested in, and it makes a difference and is so close to you. So I'm going to just turn you loose.
Well, you're kind to say that, and I could not agree with you more. One of the things that makes America unique in the history of mankind is this deep sense of patriotism and understanding that if you do not have a fabric of people in your society that are willing to be the ones that watch over you, that protect you, that are the shields and the guardians of this great nation, somebody in this world, some evil force in this world will steal it away. We've seen that play out throughout history, the history of mankind, where if societies lose their sense of patriotism, they will lose their freedom and their ability to define their own destiny. So it's interesting to watch a movie, for example, like Sniper, that awakens this sense of patriotism and the recognition that you need guardians that watch over you. And so right here in the river region, you have Maxwell Gunter, and you have other entities of the military that are truly the guardians watching over you. And air power and the Air Force being that guardian from above watching. We're the sniper in the sky that is ever watching, and when you need help, it's there right in time and in order to protect and defend. So this reminder that freedom is not free, and having something that shows that it's real, and it's real people doing it, is very important. And if that doesn't happen every so often in a society, that society treads very delicately towards the cliff of having problems internationally.
I think we take a lot of things for granted. We're very fortunate in the United States. You wake up and there's just everything around you, and you never think about the fact that it could be taken away.
That's right. And you know, people who live in other societies or have lived in third world countries have a deep appreciation for that.
Sure do.
And one reason I'm so passionate about this is I got to grow up in a third world country where there was no security. A small tribe in Africa that could easily be attacked by other tribes and was. Terrorism, taking hostage my father at one point, and watching your father being taken away by men at gunpoint and having no power or authority and having no idea what was going to happen gives you a different sense for the fact that this world has evil in it. And if you are not strong, others will take it away. Patriotism is that reminder that you must be strong and you must invest in that strength, not just with the resources to build a military capable of defending America, but invest in it in the hearts of people in communities across America. This is the patriotism we're talking about, and this is why we need to talk about this more often, and we need to get people to know one another, where the community knows the patriots guarding this great country, and the patriots of this country, like the airmen at Maxwell Gunter, get to know the community they're defending.
I think we talked about, Jack and I talked about earlier, this sense of entitlement, and what we see happening is everybody is in his own little cocoon, and so it's all about me, or it's all about what I'm surrounded with, and it's so, I don't know if this is too simple, but we have got to have some accountability. We've got to have a sense of responsibility, and I keep going back to the statement that bad things happen because good people do nothing. And that also means individual, like we have talked about accountability. I thought the other day, as we get older, and I really did, I was coming in a parking lot and I thought, you know what? I don't run as fast as I used to. Now we're talking about protecting yourself, but that filters down to obesity, to accountability, to being,
discipline.
To discipline in your life and accountability, and understanding that we're not entitled to all of this. I've had, all of my life I have worked. Jack has, most of the people we know have. But General Kwast, I have never had a job where I put my life on the line. And the military does that.
We do, but you know, it's interesting because this is part of human nature. Human nature is funny in the sense that if somebody is secure and they're protected, it's easy to forget that that's not something that should always be there and that it needs to be fought for. So people forget that, and then they don't invest in the discipline and the rigor of a vigorous life where they are giving more than they're getting. This is why it's important to remind ourselves of patriotism, because patriotism at its root is the recognition that if you are not vigorously and actively investing in security, you will lose it. And if you are not disciplined and not actually paying attention to the politics of who's defending this nation and the way we're relating to the world, then you are the one that did nothing that allowed bad things to happen.
Right.
This is why we as Americans must be involved and listen and make sure that our government really does invest in defending America, or we risk repeating the historical lessons of civilizations that have gone before us, that have fallen. From the Byzantine, the Babylonian, the Roman, the Ottoman. All of them go on a cycle where this community and the society gets comfortable, they forget about patriotism, and they get weak because they don't invest in strength, and some other civilization takes advantage of that and steals their freedom away.
They have no pride in their country.
They speak softly but carry a big stick.
That's right.
That is a very simple and very common sense statement.
And I'm very proud of Hollywood at reminding us
Yes.
of us as a nation of this element of patriotism, where the movie Sniper reminds us of this visceral, deep feeling that we must be strong or we will be taken advantage of.
Well, we want to thank you, and we want you to convey the thanks to all the airmen at Air University for the fact of what they're doing for us on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you, sir.
That's
And
right.
Thank you, man.
And just remember this, that freedom is not free. When you see somebody in the military, thank them, because when you get up and go to work, probably the worst thing that can happen to you is you get fired. When they go to work, the worst thing that can happen to them is somebody fires on them. We'll be right back right after this.